All right, so I just wanted to record a demonstration of some spherical aberration of the exit pupil that I'm seeing in the 7mm Televue Nagler Type 6. It's some of the most severe SAAP I've seen in an eyepiece, and I know it's not widely reported, so I just wanted to kind of document this so others could sort of see what I'm seeing through the eyepiece. So what I've got is I've got the eyepiece here in my test setup downstairs in my workshop, and I've got a few other eyepieces next to it that we'll kind of compare and contrast with. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the phone up near the exit pupil, and I'll start showing where the kidney beaning is sort of manifesting itself and how the exit pupil behaves when I look through it. So here we can see that we're kind of approaching the exit pupil. We're not at the exit pupil yet. We're too far back. And then right about here, if I kind of start moving side to side and deliberately misaligning the camera on the exit pupil, you start to see some of the kidney bean shadows come in. That's pretty normal for most eyepieces. If I move closer still, and then move side to side, now the kidney beaning is a lot more severe. And in fact, right at this point, you can start to see a dark ring start to form in the middle of the eyepiece. And the field stop is not visible yet. We still haven't gotten close enough to see the field stop. So I'm going to move the camera a little bit closer still. And now you can see a very pronounced dark ring in the middle of the field of view. And still the field stop is not visible. And then again, if I move side to side here, if I do any slight misalignment, the kidney beaning is pretty severe. So I'll move a little bit closer. And now the kidney beaning is very severe. It's just a black donut right in the middle of the field of view. And note that when I look through the eyepiece, it's not this severe. This is just exacerbated by the camera a little bit. So there's certainly some kind of accommodation in visual use through the eyepiece, but this is very similar to what I see in terms of there being a dark ring in the field of view as I approach the exit pupil in such a way that I can see the field stop. So I'll get closer still just because we can't see the field stop yet. And right there is where the field stop kind of pops into view. So I'll back up a little bit. Field stop is kind of obscured by the edge of something. I'm not really sure what, but this is not the field stop yet. Right here is the field stop. Nice crisp edge, and you can see it doesn't change as I move back and forth a little bit. That is the field stop. That's what you're supposed to see when your eye is at the right distance from the eyepiece, at the exit pupil distance. But as you can see, in this position, the SAAP is severe. And it starts to be severe well before you even get close enough to see the field stop. You can see how much travel there is there between when the SAP is really starting to become problematic versus when the field stop forms. So that is the 7mm Nagler. I'm going to take this out and we'll try a different eyepiece. Here is a 7 Delight. I've got kind of like a custom 3D printed eye guard on it, so don't mind that too much, but I'll put that in and we can kind of see how that compares. Just got to find focus here. All right, there's focus. I'll repeat. I start back far away from the exit pupil. And then as I approach the exit pupil, I can't see the field stop yet. There's zero kidney beaning here at this stage. If I get a little closer, still zero kidney beaning. And then when I get close enough to see the field stop, there's minor kidney beaning, but I think a lot of that is just coming from the camera. There's certainly none of that visible when looking through the eyepiece. And in fact, if I kind of back up to just where the field stop starts to be visible and I go side to side, there's no kidney beaning there. If I get inside the exit pupil, yeah, now there's kidney beaning. So as you can see, I'm just kind of like moving this thing around. Kidney beaning is not a problem for the Delight. So let me take that out and we'll try the 7 Pentax XW. This is an eyepiece I do see some kidney beaning in, so it'll be interesting to see what this actually looks like. I haven't done this experiment yet on this eyepiece. So I'll move it closer. I got to adjust my position here a little bit. So this is interesting. You can see that there is certainly some SAAP around the outside of the edge, and that is what I see. I see very thin string bean-like kidney bean shadows as I approach the eyepiece, the 7XW. I see it more in the 5XW, but certainly the 7XW. So there's not a lot of kidney beaning side to side when you're far back, but as you approach, you can start to see that kidney beaning, or I shouldn't even call it kidney beaning. It should be just spherical aberration of the exit pupil. It really starts to become pronounced. And then when I'm at the exit pupil distance, I realize I haven't even focused this. So let's just, for consistency's sake, let's go ahead and focus this. Here we go. So we'll try that again. Same effect. Doesn't really matter if it's in focus or not, apparently. So, but when you're at the right distance, it's not too bad. It's just on the way into it that you start to see some of that spherical aberration of the exit pupil. So let's take that out and let's put in an 8 Delos. And just for consistency, I'll refocus. There we go. Bring it in. Go side to side before we get there. There's no kidney beaning at all, no SAAP. And then now we can see the field stop. And on the way in, there's very little SAAP, if any. And then at the right distance, which is right about here, there's certainly a little bit if I go side to side. And if I get too close, then there's certainly a lot. But that's pretty reasonable. I don't see SAAP in Delos eyepieces, and it doesn't look like there's much, if any, present with the camera. So next we'll just do another one. We'll do the 7 Nav SW. Refocus this one. There we go. We'll repeat. Just adjust the position of the phone a little bit. So this is interesting. It's the it looks like it's a blue ring of fire instead of an orange ring of fire. And then as I approach, there's no kidney beaning at all, no SAAP. And then at the right distance, very good. Just going side to side, there's almost nothing. And if I get too close, now there's some, which is expected. But the 7 Nav SW is really tolerant of positioning. And so the last one I'll test is 19 Panoptic, just to see what this does. Bring that to focus. Nothing really as you approach the exit pupil. And then there we go. There's the field stop there. And I'm kind of moving back and forth, and there's really not much. Definitely some creeping in, but I've got to kind of move the phone quite a bit laterally before it starts to manifest. So this seems to be quite tolerant of eye positioning as well. So just putting the Nagler back in. And I won't bother bringing it to focus because it doesn't seem to matter that much. You can really see the difference compared to all the other eyepieces that we tested. That is significant SAEP compared to the other ones.